Hello, everybody. This is Eliz-sha Keating from wisdomseekers.net, and we're here with water for the weeklies. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces for September 29th to October 5th, 2019. And you'll have to excuse me. I have a little bit of, as they say, a frog in my throat. So the very first card I pulled was Healing Begins. Well, I'm pretty darn certain healing has begun a long time ago if we're on this reading, but that doesn't mean that a new form of healing might not be in progress. So the very first card is the Eight of Pentacles, and that's a good card. That's Master Craftsman working at his craft, content. And that's the key word. Not that he's a master craftsman, which is really good because that means we've got and developed skills, but he's content. And what covers him for this week is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is a new form of joy forming, a beginning. And what's behind us, what pushed us to this? The Queen of Cups. And in this case, it's intuition. Passive form of intuition, not the masculine form as you go out and look, you ask psychic, etc., etc., but a passive form where you allow it to come to you and you just know. Well, you might hear it. There's many forms of intuition. What's below for us is the star, and the star is a goddess, and she likes to support her people. She's very supportive. She's also a very typical mom in that she wants a lot from her children, so to speak. You know, considering us as younger or less knowledgeable than she is. So she will support her family, her people a great deal, but she does expect a lot. She likes her people to be in couples. She doesn't care what kind of couples, as long as it's a growth experience. And what's in front of us for this week? Ten of Pentacles. And Ten of Pentacles means a lot of support, a lot of help from your guides and angels and your past relatives that have passed before or haven't come down with you with this lifetime. A lot of support, a lot of shifts and changes. And there should be some form of abundance this week. The Ace of Pentacles, that's the physical for earth, and it's a lot of energy shifting. Of course, there's always a lot of energy shifting, and that's not going to change in the near future. I mean, we keep hearing, oh, we're going to have a break. It's going to be easier. Good luck on that. I don't see that happening, but there should be more coming towards us. More abundance. And abundance is not just money. There's many ways of receiving abundance. For instance, right now, there are a lot of people are giving out zucchinis. That is something you don't have to buy. So it is, I guess, a form of abundance in the monetary sense. So, but are hand-me-down clothes. Your kids grow out of clothes, you pass them along to somebody else who needs them, etc., etc. So there's many forms of abundance. Money is just one of them. Money gives you the freedom to go out and get new, but looking through a box of clothes is so fun. At least, look at this. And there might be things you'd never consider buying, but are just perfect. So you never know what is the better form of abundance. The Knight of Cups, and that is what the week is about. And again, it goes back to this card, support, right? So support is strength, is balance, is growth, but it's also knowledge. You see, he's got the Holy Grail, and the Holy Grail is different for everybody. It might have been looking for the Holy Grail, might have been a specific thing. 1,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, but it isn't anymore. It is the Holy Grail is what is special for you, and the Holy Grail used to be looking for the Holy Feminine. Well, the Holy Feminine's come in, And now we just have to adjust to it. So now it's individual. It's individual for you. What are you looking for? What is your holy grail? And for a lot of people, it's just growth and spirit and getting to a better lifestyle. So whatever your holy grail is, it's part of what this week will entail. So keep an eye on it. It should be your passion. And if you don't know your passion, well, it's coming. Nobody knows what their passion is until they're passionate about it. The Queen of Wands, and that's also a beginning of a cycle, end of a cycle, but it's also knowledge that you didn't know you had. And as we rise higher in the energies, the spiritual energies, and we allow ourselves to be less bound by the rules, like you haven't learned it in a book, it doesn't exist, you can't know it. But as we rise higher, we can know things that we didn't know we knew. Just sort of reach up, pop it in, and talk about it. And you'll find you're right all the time. This is also a week of Six of Cups, week of visualizing your future, visualizing it. Well, you can leave it dark and beige and duh. That's your prerogative. But I recommend bright and shiny and bright skies, bright future, right? That's my recommendation. You can choose to do the other. It's optional. And I've got 2 cards left. Why not finish it? Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands, again, coming down. It's the same card. Basically, you've got a lot of support from your guides. They're helping you transmute the energy of the old to something new and bright. And here, where did she go? And this one is the end of a cycle, right? And this is also an end of a cycle. This is where you are moving up in energy. And when you move up in energy, of course, that's the end of a cycle because you see things differently. You grow in a different manner. You think differently. So, as I said, as I expected, healing begins. It's simply a new form of healing. And what are we leading to? What do we want? The answer is always one answer, simply love. And that is that. So this week, as a recap, there is a little bit of growth, but it's more doing than growth. It's you're choosing to grow. You're choosing to make these steps, and well, for me, it's a no-brainer. You simply want to go forward into something higher and easier. Is it easier? Well, as long as we keep on pulling back onion layers of spiritual growth, not necessarily easier. But if we understand things, it is actually easier. And we can go to the place of grounding, neutrality. And when I say neutrality, I recommend the third person perspective. Sans thinking, just being. Being is there's the secret to living a happy life. And the closer we get to not having that squirrel mind that goes around and around in circles, the happier we are. People think that thinking means you're alive. It is not necessarily true. Thinking is not being alive. Not thinking is being alive. Because when you think, you end up thinking other people's thoughts. You think what you saw on TV. You think what you think. Another awesome video coming at you. Oh, hang on.
Phone's possessed.
Yeah, well, somebody's calling me.
The possession is real.
Yeah, but it's a pain in the butt when the phone rings. And I forget what I was saying. So, what the heck, hey? Let's start. I see people are on saying hi and everything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, Polynesian Princess says, "Aloha, Eliz-sha and El."
Aloha. I want to go visit your islands.
Yes.
Very much.
and see where they film Hawaii Five-O.
Oh, that too.
Both the current Hawaii Five-O and the previous
The original.
incarnation of Hawaii Five-O.
Yeah, we just want to go.
Angel Eyes says, good day.
Good day.
Maria Herrera says, hello.
Hi.
Leticia Espinosa says, hi.
Hello.
Debbie says, hello, everyone.
Hi, Debbie.
Gabriela R. says, hello. And asks, I know I asked this question before, but I want to know if my mom and sister and brother-in-law really believe that I live in the same apartment building as them.
I know this sounds really funny, but if you could message me privately and a little bit, I could probably give you a better answer. Because from the outside, that is an interesting question. But if you could explain a little bit more, and I could have a few names, I could probably answer that question a lot better, and you would probably be happier with the answer.
Angela Patterson says, hi, Eliz-sha and Elle. I hope you are well. If you are asking questions at the end, I'm very stressed. Just wondering if Aldo is going to try and come after me legally for the gifts he gave me. Please, I will come back to check later because I'm busy, and hope you're feeling better, Elle.
Okay, so he wants to know that Aldo is going to go after her legally. He would definitely like to, but I think by the law he can't, because they were gifts, and once given, they're no. If he tries to take them back, I don't think they are his to go after anymore. As long as they were presented to you as gifts, I believe they are yours. He'd like to. I know he would like to. I think he knows that it's not possible. I don't think it would work. Let's put it that way. Having said that, if he gets angry enough, that doesn't mean he won't try. But at this moment, he's not going to try. He's just frustrated and would like to. Very definitely would like to. Okay.
Jennifer Schwebb says, hello, ladies. I hope you're having a lovely day.
We just started our day. We didn't wake up early at all today.
No, we there's no roofers on our house this morning, so we took advantage. Nanny Drea asks, I checked on Facebook Messenger today and saw that my ex Gemini unblocked me on there. What keeps him from blocking and unblocking me on Messenger? Facebook Messenger.
Why does he keep doing that?
Yeah, it feels like he's playing games. Yes.
Yeah, of course he is. It's up to you whether you answer them or not. Just my recommendation is just walk away, because anybody that isn't straightforward and honest with you is not going to be straightforward and honest with you in a relationship. I think part of it is he's not the nicest of human beings, to be honest, and part of it is a little bit of, I'm going to give her hope, then I'm going to yank it away from her again. But he also likes drama, so he opens it up so that you can reach out to him, and then you guys can probably go into the same routine, and then he says nope, and blocks you again. Again, it's cycle, right? You've done this cycle 2 or 3 times probably by now. Just walk away. You don't have to block him, but honestly, I think I would just delete him.
Maria Herrera asks, hi, any messages in regards to Alexander on his health?
His health?
Health.
It's just if he has any sniffles or anything, it's just normal stuff you get from going back to school. It's nothing major. Vitamin C, echinacea, oregano, all these things will help. And a friend of mine recommends a teaspoon of, no, 1 lemon squeezed, equal amount of water to the lemon, and a teaspoon of baking soda, no aluminum, and just chug it 3 times a day. And that will get rid of many of the colds that are happening right now. I have not tried it, but she's recommended it, and she is a medical intuitive, a very good one.
It does not sound appetizing.
It does not sound appetizing, but I have used baking soda before, and it's really good at getting rid of tummy aches and such like not when you have, when you get the flu and things. It works really good that way. I know people look at me strange, but I have used it myself, and it does work. Tastes like crap. Really bad. I mean, if you think of bad, then add a bit more bad. But yeah, it works.
The Polynesian princess says, yes, I've been doing a lot of visualizing recently.
Very good.
Sari Swari says, Pisces said he hoped I moved on from him. Was he being honest with it or just hiding his ego? Thanks.
He kind of would like you to have moved on because he would like to be friends with you. But there is not, as far as I can see, there's as far as I can see, there is no he's moved on, but he likes you, and he would like to retain the friendship if that's at all possible, and he doesn't want you hurt. So I don't think it's just ego. Unfortunately, I don't think it's just ego. Having said that, let me check something. It appears that if you release and let this go, there's already somebody who's looking at you with puppy dog eyes. Whether it's what you want or who you want, I don't know. But there is already somebody in the wings waiting for you. Even if it's not what you want, it explains that the energy is there, and when one happens, then often there's more happening as well. So if you can move on, there is somebody there very soon for you. Okay.
Next. Kylie Brown asks, I had a weird dream the night before yesterday in which my hands were in praying position, real tight, my eyes were closed. I felt as if I wanted to resist my hands being from in that position. And I wanted to call my boyfriend for help. Why did I have that dream? I'm wondering what it was about. I did want to open my eyes as well to see, but I couldn't.
Okay, there's two potentials there. You had a What is it when they
Night terror.
not night terror, but when your body
Paralysis.
night
Sleep
paralysis, sleep paralysis. The other option is the way I'd read it. It's not necessarily the way you'd read it, but I will tell you what I think. I think that you're moving from your family belief to your own belief, and your subconscious is a little afraid of your shifting and changing. You're growing spiritually. You might have come from a background where it's very traditional, and you're switching out of that tradition into something new, and your subconscious is saying, are you sure? Are you aware? Having said that, Elizabeth Myers on my group is one of the most experienced dream interpreters out there, and what I tell you isn't necessarily what the dream is about. The price is reasonable. I think it's like $20.
I think so.
Not.
It's not super expensive.
What she can tell you is amazing. I have seen some of her dream interpretations, and I looked at it and I thought, wow. I just sort of like my mouth dropped. She's so good. For something like that, I'm not the best person to come to.
But yeah, Elizabeth is really good. Dream.
Her dream interpretations are amazing.
Yeah.
And it probably has it's your subconscious is trying to tell you something, and it is important for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't remember it.
She also added that it felt like somebody was holding her down.
That would go along with your subconscious being afraid to move forward. But that's my interpretation. Okay. But with sleep paralysis, you can't move. I've had it, actually, so I do know what it feels like. Okay.
Mellow Yellow says, hi, the party has started again, I see.
Yes.
At least I'm assuming that's what you said. There's a few emojis that I don't understand.
She's from New York.
Yeah, emojis.
They change. They change from region to region.
They do.
Yeah.
Except the peach and the eggplant.
They stay the same worldwide.
And age-wide.
Yep, everybody knows that. Almost.
The Polynesian princess says, I take my driving test on October 7th. Do you see me passing? My birthday is October 13th.
Congratulations. I'm a Libra too.
I'm hoping to have it down before then. Thank you.
So it seems like you're a fairly decent driver. The potential for you passing is fairly high. And again, parallel parking, reversing, don't speed, especially in park and schools. Big no. Those will fail you faster than anything. Other things will take marks off. Those are out and out fails. Mm-hmm. But parallel parking, nobody likes it. It's a science. Google it. It'll help a lot. Reverse parking, reverse into a spot. Practice. It's just simply practice. I feel there is a potential to pass on the first time. Having said that, driving instructors do not like to pass people on the first time, as a general rule. Okay.
And Mellow Yellow also advocates for Elizabeth being a good dream interpreter.
Yeah, Mellow Yellow has used Elizabeth's services. Oh, I use them all the time. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, everybody that you suggest people go to, you use.
Yes, with I did I and I with I don't find their information valid. I don't use them.
Made the Polynesian princess laugh at the peach and eggplant. Andrea P says, I found a room for rent kind of near my hometown, and the old woman said she would hold the room for me and my boyfriend. Would I like it there? Would I like it there, or would it be a good fit for me to be there with my boyfriend?
It doesn't feel horrible, doesn't feel long term, and it feels like it could become. It feels like the old woman and your boyfriend probably will have. They'll either like each other a real lot or not like each other at all. I'm not quite sure, but it feels like there's a lot of back and forth between the two of them, and it could simply be laugh. It could simply be that they're joking, or it could be something else. Having said that, it's an experience. Go ahead and find out.
Kelly Bowen asks, do you see me passing my driving test on October 11th at 1:45 p.m.? Hopefully the instructor doesn't grade me too hard.
Well, it depends on the instructor. I mean, the ones in my town, they fail everybody first time. So you go to the next town over, which is like 40 minutes away. They're much more lenient. So don't be nervous. If you go in nervous, the instructor's already going to mark that against you. Don't be nervous, and you have done a lot of driving. You have done a lot of testing, and it's not testing, but practice and things. And I see that it's not been all that easy. I see it appears that your parallel parking is adequate. And again, school zones, parks, no speeding, automatic fail. Reverse, you've done a lot of work on that. Go slow, do it slowly. I think there's a good 70%, 78% chance that you will pass now. You've been doing a lot of practicing since you asked me last time. Okay.
Jennifer Schweb asks, hi, Eliz-sha, is there a spiritual ability that you see in me that I should develop to help me grow spiritually stronger, and that would be helpful for me and others I care about?
Trust yourself. You have the abilities, you already work with them, but you don't trust yourself enough. And it's practice. It's simply practice until you can trust yourself, till you do know when it feels like it's right and when you know it's not right. I suspect you have the ability to be a medium. First develop your telepathy or psychic ability. Start reading and then see But I think mediumship is a potential. Erin will be how not until she's finished her university, but she's going to be helping others develop their mediumship abilities in the future. And not everybody can be a medium. Well, everybody can be a medium. Not everybody can be a good medium because there is, I'm told, I'm not sure if I 100% believe this, because there's, you either have it or you don't. But like I say, I'm not 100% sure I believe that. But that's something that you might want to consider. But start playing with tarot cards. Start playing with the pendulum. Start playing with guessing. Guessing. I don't know. I used to do something with the road signs, but I can't remember what it is now.
When I was younger, you taught me how to read playing cards.
Read playing cards, yeah. And that would be more intuitive than, say, this, right? Because the playing cards are numbers.
I actually, one year, this is a tangent, I apologize. One year I was visiting my father in Quebec and my aunts and uncles, and two of my aunts asked for a reading, and all we had were playing cards. And one of the questions my godmother asked was how her son was doing in France in culinary school. And I told her that he was going to find love or some weird thing. I mean, I was about 9, 10 at the time. He came home after that summer with his girlfriend, who I believe he's still with. So, yeah, it was fun. Freaked them out.
That's what happens when you have a mother like me.
Debbie says daylight savings time started today, and the days are getting warmer here in Christchurch. Finally.
Lucky you. It's getting colder here.
Yep. Gabby Kovalenko asks, "Hi, Elisha and Elle. Hello. I'm wondering if you see what my ex Remington is thinking about me now. Thank you."
It feels like there's a potential for the two of you to reconnect and discuss. I can't say you get back together, but there's a potential to discuss and possibly get back together. He hasn't walked away from you energetically. He's also he doesn't feel like a bad human being, but he is excuse me, he is a guy. All right, so his and you remember that's the series Friends. I was on a break. So he's been on a break, but he might be interested. It does appear that he's would like to, and I don't see it happening in the next week or so, but it does appear that he's interested in reaching out and talking, but it's not imminent in his mind. Okay.
Next, Maria Herrera says, "Thank you so much for the advice." Sari Suarez says, "Okay, thank you so much." Debbie says, "I dreamed I gave birth to a baby last night." Ha, I'm 53.
But that means you're giving birth to something new in you. And that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Polynesian Princess says, "Thank you, Elisha." Debbie asks, has Colette moved on from her ex-partner, or does she still have feelings for him?
Colette.
Uh-huh.
She still feels like she's dragging a bit of an anchor. And that's about the best. It doesn't feel like they're going to reconnect or anything, but there is still a bit of an anchor there. So she is not ready to move forward yet. Okay.
B. Erla says, hi, Eliz-sha and Elle. Hello. Jao Fermino asks, hello, darling. Do you see me having good financial success in real estate?
Actually, you should do very well in that. It does feel like you bring the sales home fairly regularly. And I do know that that can be, you can be really good, or you can just not be really good. But it does appear that you make sufficient to for yourself for the month, plus some. So I would say yes. And as you become better and more known, and you have repeats, I suspect that you will. I suspect that is just part of the job. It might be that you get into doing things like flipping houses too. You find the houses that are cheap, and maybe with a partner, refurbish it a bit and flip it. So, but that comes a little later after you start to get a little equity. All right.
Brie Erla asks, if I may ask a question too, how is Jeff feeling about me now? Thank you so much, both of you.
I think he thinks he made a mistake. He's feeling a little bit deflated. He's not, doesn't appear to be happy at the moment. I don't know how he appears publicly, but in the energies, he's sitting there and he's a bit deflated. I know this is not something I recommend, but if you reach out to him as a friend, not as a potential, that things could shift and change for both of you again, if he's worth the trouble. Because if somebody has potential to be depressed, it is not an easy way to live with people. Okay.
She also adds, and if you still remember, last week I asked if I would be accepted for the master's program in Frankfurt. You told me I would do well in the interview, and guess what? I got accepted.
Congratulations. I'm so pleased for you. And Frankfurt, wow, that's a beautiful. I've seen pictures of it. I've been
you've been there, haven't you?
No, I was Cologne. I was in Cologne, not Frankfurt, but it is a beautiful country.
Yes, so congratulations.
Congratulations.
You'll have to send us pictures.
Please join his Facebook group and send pictures. Everybody wants to see.
Yes. She says, thank you both. Jennifer.
If you're going to Frankfurt, be only a friend with this guy. You don't need to take extra. There's some really hot guys over there.
Maria Herrera says, I would like so much that you guys teach my son Alex.
Yeah, I think he definitely needs a little bit of training. Alex does. Aaron is a far better trained medium than I am. I'm more self-trained. I kept getting kicked out of my churches because I'm a little bit of a rebel, tiny bit. So
We're like the size of the earth.
they weren't impressed with me because it was a spiritualist church, and the spiritualist church liked to prove there's life after death, and for me that's a given. So I was more interested in spirituality. So yeah, I'm not quite as well trained as Erin is, but she will. She would be delighted to train Alex.
Malapala says, hi, Eliz-sha and Elle, and asks, will I get intimate with Gemini on our date? Spoilers.
So I'm only going to say this, and I'm not going to say more. He's going to be clean from the inside out. Clean underwear, clean everything. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to say any more. You can extrapolate from that.
That's the mom version of la 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 la. I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, well, when you've got 3 daughters and they tell you too much, sometimes you just don't want to hear it anymore.
She replies with ha ha ha. Jennifer Schweb says, you're right, Eliz-sha. I do have self-doubt sometimes, and it gets in the way. You have helped me have more confidence in my abilities. Thank you. It means a lot to me.
I expect to see you doing a lot more, actually.
Brie Erla says, thank you so much for the advice and all. It really helped. Really helped. And Jennifer Schweb says, thank you, Eliz-sha and Elle, for your advice. It helps to get both of your perspectives.
She'll give it to you whether you want it or not.
Basically. You have no choice. I will take the advice you both gave me and work on it. Debbie says, thank you, Eliz-sha, for her reading.
Wasn't a reading per se. It's just that's what you birthed something new.
No, about I'm assuming as well as
Colette. Pardon me, I forgot about Colette. I'm bad.
Malapali says, thank you so much, Eliz-sha and Elle. And Jennifer Schweb ends with, Eliz-sha, I love your advice about Erin. I feel she is a beautiful soul, and I would love to learn from her. Erin's abilities are amazing. She
was trained at Lilydale, and in North America, Lilydale is the place to learn from.
And with that, at 42 minutes, I'm going to say, let's call it, and then we'll be back.
We'll be back
in a couple hours.
Yeah, we should be back relatively soon. Plus, my other daughter's coming back, and that means the dogs are going to be barking and yelling and growling at each other. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. I always enjoy myself very much. Namaste. Namasko.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you in a bit.
And having said that, I lost my mouse.